Hello, students, and welcome to another day of music making. Today, we're going to start off with a new idea, and it is for a mindfulness moment. And this was shared to me from several music teacher friends of mine this past week that I thought, you know what, I'm going to also integrate that to our lesson time. So I have this card that I'm going to ask us to do here in just a moment. And the reason why we're going to do this mindfulness moment is it's important to know that we need to have time for ourselves, and our feelings are very important. So what I mean by that is that even though we're not going off and doing a bunch of things and not able to really leave the house per se, we still have a lot of things going on internally. And it's important for us to have a moment where we just get a focus on our special music time, or if we need to take these mindfulness moments, that we have just a few little bits of moments of time that we make for ourselves, because our self-care is very, very important. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to start reading from this card what I'm going to ask you to do. And the first thing is find a spot where you can sit very mindfully, sitting up nice and tall and relaxed with your whole body, and just sitting there nice and relaxed with me. So would you please listen? Sitting mindfully with your spine straight and your body relaxed. Would you now close your eyes and then keep your eyes closed until I ask you to open them? So close your eyes and take 3 slow, soft, mindful breaths. Now, keeping those eyes closed, imagine you are in a forest with tall trees. You hear the birds chirping in those trees, and there are squirrels that are running across the fallen leaves on the ground. You are sitting in front of a small pond. The water is very still. Look into that pond. See the reflection of the trees in that clear water. What else do you see in that pond? Do you see yourself reflected in the water too? Imagine dropping a pebble into that pond. See the ripples in the water. Keep watching. And when the water becomes still again, go ahead and open your eyes. So look for still water in the pond anytime you feel like you need a calm moment. Go ahead and open your eyes. So we'll share those little moments. They're just great for focusing on what we need to be doing, especially in music time, but they're also great for us. Especially there's times for my life where I feel like I'm running from one thing to the next, whether it's things to do in the house, it's things to do with my son, feeling like I need to record these videos. I have so much that I'm like just trying to balance all of this, and finding a time where I can just be in the moment, getting my mind focused, getting my breath focused with my mind is very important. And it's very important for my mental health, but also my stress and anxiety. Those things are very important. So I wanted to share that with you today. So now let's go to my shared screen, please. And let's go ahead and take a look at, oops, if I click twice, there we go. So we just did our mindfulness moment. Today I'm gonna have you do, excuse me, a song called Frog in the Millpond. Most of us remember and know this, but I'm gonna add a little bit something new. So would you listen to my song? And it goes like this. Frog in the mill pond, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. Give me just one moment to get a drink of water. I'll do that one more time. Frog in the mill pond, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. So first of all, let's go to my cards here. So as you're looking at my cards, would you please first follow my fly? And I don't have the greatest of arrows, and that's okay. Would you still follow my fly? Ready? Let's go to our next card. Ready? Let's go to our next card. And let's do one more. Awesome job. So now would you listen to my song as I slide through my cards? Frog in the mill pond, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. I have multiple cards. There's a lot of cards here. Listen to my song again. Frog in the mill pond, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. I wonder what those frogs mean. What if I started at the bottom? I start here. Frog in the mill pond, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. I wonder, do those frogs match something? Well, let's take a look here. Let's start off with our first frog card. Would you say, if they are big frogs, would you say big? If they are little frogs, would you say little? So for instance, if I'm looking at this very first card, I'm going to say big, little, big, big. Would you say that with me? Ready? Here we go. Big, little, big, big. What will the next card look like? Ready? Here you go. Did you say big, little, big, big? If you did, you were correct. See if you can do this one on your own. Ready, here you go. And wait a minute. There's not a frog there. There's no frog here. I wonder what to do. Well, there's a fly there, but there's no frog. Let's take a look at the next card. See if that helps us out. Ready? On your own. And here you go. And suspicious, suspicious. Well, what if you did this one on your own? Ready, here you go. And the last card, what do you notice between the two? Are they the same or are they different? They are the same. Ready? So I'll go to the last card so you can see it a little bit better. Ready, set, and here you go. And pause right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the sharing, come back to my main screen. Good for you. We have one more thing to do for us today, and it requires us to get up from where we're at. If you're sitting down, you need to stand up. So go ahead and stand up for just a moment today. And as you're standing up, I'm going to switch to a screen, and I'm just sliding down so that I'm kind of out of the way here in just a moment. So I'm going to go to my next shared screen, and I'm going to go back to this, but I'm going to go, in fact, to what we're going to do with the tortoises. So if you remember the Carnival of the Animals part, we had this song called The Tortoise that we had to do. And in the tortoise, we remember that it was either fast or slow. So we'll come back to that here in just a moment. Today, I'm going to have you look at some non-locomotor words, okay? Would you say those words with me? Be my echo, I should say. Twist, spin, float, bend, rise, sink. So now I've included a picture for you to look at. Obviously, we have our different body parts. So non-locomotor, what that means is I don't move my body anywhere in the room, but I move my body in my own space. So for instance, if I came to my stopping the share, if I came and I was doing this and moving in my own space, I'm staying in the space. But what were some of the words that were on that screen? There was something of a twist. Could you twist with me? What else could I twist? Could I twist my wrist? Could I twist the other one? Could do those. What was another one, do you remember? Bend. What was a bend one that we could do? Can I bend my elbow? What if I had to bend something not up of my upper body? What else could I bend? Can I bend my knees? So if I changed my camera, could I bend my knees? I could do that. Can I bend at my waist? Sure. So let's go back to our shared screen here. And I'm going to ask you to think about some of these words. So we did twist and bend, but we had 6 total words. We have spin. I wonder what spin could look like. Float. I wonder what that could look like. Rise. Sink. Well, here's what your assignment is for this part of the video, is that you're going to go ahead and pause this and give yourself a little bit of time. You don't have to just come up with it on the fly. But I'm going to ask you to come up with an idea that looks like this. So let me go to the next part. So now you see I have my non-locomotive words that are on the screen, but I have 4 different spots. You can make the choice to either try to remember it, or maybe you want to write it down. Here's what I want you to do. You have those 6 options, but you don't have 6 spots to fill them in. So, excuse me. So what you're going to do is you have to come up and create an idea and think about musical form. So if I go to my first idea here, what I'm looking for is something to fit in that makes sense for me to start with. And usually I try to find it somewhere else in the song activity. For instance, maybe I want to start out and I want to create, see if it'll let me edit, and it may not. But maybe I want to move and start out with a spin. And so I would put spin here in number 1. That's my A idea. Then I go to my second idea. Maybe I want to rise. So I'm going to go ahead and write these down for myself. So I've got my special note page here. And so maybe I want to, so my number 1 idea, I said I was going to spin. Number 2, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bend. And that's my B idea because it's not the same as my spin. But maybe I come back to my spin. So now my form looks like A, B, A. Maybe I go back to a bend. And now I have my music form that goes A, B, B, which is an option. But that doesn't have to be your only option. Maybe you want to have different ways of form, meaning you might want to go first idea that repeats, and maybe it changes at the end. So we would look A, B. Maybe you want to do first idea, second idea, third idea, and then comes back the A idea. So it could go A, B, C, A. Maybe you want to be creative and use all four, A, B, C, and D. So go ahead and pause this video after this part. So go ahead and pause the video and just come up with your 4 ideas. And once you've come up with your 4 ideas, unpause the video and we're going to try that out with some music. Okay, so go ahead and pause it really quick. Awesome. So now here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to keep this screen up and I'm going to take you over to a really a song, sorry, that is our tortoises. So if you remember, if I go back to this screen here, and excuse me while I'm getting my music set up here, it's just like Mr. Simon back in the music room. Technology is working so well. So what if we did this one, and you had to listen to it before you're allowed to move? I'm going to do it one more time. Sorry, my music is, there it goes. Just didn't want to play it like it was supposed to. There we go. So now as you're listening, first idea. Second idea. Third idea. And fourth idea. So my first question is the song fast or slow? It's slow, right? So what we want to do is we got to think of our movements that we have very much in control. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You are now standing in your space. I'm going to adjust my camera. And I had, in my creation, I had my ABAB form. You might have a completely different form, so don't necessarily follow exactly what I'm doing in my screen. Okay, so we're going to try this one more time together. Here we go. So our introduction. And your first idea. Ready? Second idea. Third idea. Liking what I'm seeing from a lot of you. And your fourth idea. I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. So we're going to do this one more time, but now here's what I'm going to ask you to add on or level up. So what could you do that if you chose to do a repeat of an A or a B, what if you decide that you're going to create and change that movement pattern? Maybe if I'm twisting, maybe it's not just a full body twist, maybe it's a twist of an arm or a wrist. If I'm bending, maybe it's not a bend at my waist, maybe it's a bend of a joint. If I'm floating, maybe it's not just with my arms, maybe it's with my legs and my body. If I'm sinking, maybe it's not just going straight down, but maybe it means that I'm going off at an angle. What if? So if you need a moment to pause this to think about that, go ahead and make sure that you do that. And be thinking about your ending. You can always change your idea. Maybe your idea needs a different pattern. Maybe you want to change your pattern. Do what you feel like is a good idea. Ready? Take two. Here we go. Ready? And introduction. Here comes your first idea. Ready? And second idea. Third idea. Fourth idea. Awesome. So now I'm going to come out of my share screen. So what you just did is you played with some ideas of musical form without me really saying, okay, so this is your A, this is your B. All I did was I gave you your 4 ideas. Maybe you had a different pattern than somebody else that was playing this video, which is awesome, which is so great. So until next time, students, I'm going to adjust my camera so I'm not like walking up awkwardly. Sorry about that. So until next time, students, I hope you're doing well. I can't wait to see you soon. Take care and bye-bye.